Morning. So we've had some warmer weather move in and it's been dry, but finally last night and this morning we had a storm come by and dump some water down. And for the next week we've got warmer temperatures and we've got periods of rain moving in. So this is the perfect time for me to fertilize my pond berm. Understand that what you can't do is you can't put fertilizer on the downward slope of your pond berm. You don't want those nutrients going into your pond. So you have to use something that's an organic matter that'll slowly break down over time, and it doesn't release any nutrients until it's down in the soil and the soil microbes have broken it down. Got it? That way it'll be locked in the soil. So on the back side of our pond berm, we did put down some synthetics and it's really green, but the front side is really low on organic matter and nutrients. So today I'm gonna put out some dirt booster. But I gotta try and rig up my spreader because my other spreader has a one side option. This spreader, I don't have it on this spreader. So I gotta do some redneck engineering to see how this works out. My other spreader has a switch where you can actually switch it and it'll only throw on one side, but it's at the other house. And I wanna get this stuff down right now because we're gonna have some more rain. So I've got wet soil, we got a little bit more rain coming in, and I wanted to get the dirt booster down on this pond berm. I'll take you down there and show you in a minute. So I'm just going to take it down there. If I end up having to throw some of it by hand, I will, but I should be able to spread at least the upper portion of that if I don't tip over. This ain't going to end well. One of the reasons why you don't want to use synthetic fertilizers on a pond berm on the other side, on the downhill side, on the pond side, is you can create algae blooms, you can create imbalances, nitrogen, all kinds of problems. So you want to use something that contains no nutrients. You want to contain a 100% organic type fertilizer like this. This has biochar, corn distillate, molasses particles. It has mycorrhizal fungi spores and good microbe spores. So you can put this down and it's going to take a couple weeks probably at this time of year. In the summertime it's faster, but it's going to take a while for this to break down and work into the soil. I'll show you down here. We have a fish feeder down here, and around the bottom of that fish feeder is all green from the organic matter within that fish food. And then I also went by and threw some handfuls of this out a few weeks ago, and you can see where I did that. It's actually got green spots on it. I'm gonna ride along here, and if I could do this without spilling it, that's great. And then I might come back and throw some out by hand, but here we go. So what I'm doing is this will cover from about here to about 3 or 4 feet down here, and then what I'm doing, I'm just grabbing some of this and walking along and getting the lower parts as well too. All right, you see how barren and weak this all looks in here? I want you to look at something. Look at where this fish food has gathered right in here. This big, thick, healthy green spot. And that's from that decomposing organic matter in the fish pellets. It's going to take a while. It's not like a synthetic fertilizer again. This takes time to break down. It has to go through that decomposition process. The soil microbes have to break it down, then they have to get eaten. It's that whole life cycle, nitrogen cycle. It's going to take a while. The warmer it is, the better. So normally I wouldn't put this out until we're constantly in the 80s, but we've had some warm temps, and I need to get this berm going because we're going to come back. We're going to plant some clover in here, which is nitrogen holding anyways, and then we'll do some patches of wildflowers in here. It'll be really cool. So I got to finish that. So I'm kind of breaking one of my own rules here. My rule is you don't put down something like a mycorrhizal inoculant until your soil temperature hits 65 degrees. Mycorrhizal fungi colonies really start to grow above 70 degrees soil temperature. But I've got some left. It's not going to hurt anything. And who knows? Microbes are still in the soil. Mycorrhizal fungi, we're putting the spores in there, so when it wakes up, the organic matter. We're going to be doing a reseed back here, a double reseed. We're going to reseed first with a fescue, then we're going to wait till it gets hot, and then we're going to come in with zoysia. So we're going to do a double seed here. So let me just take a soil temp and see what I'm doing. Horrible. 61, 62 degrees on my soil temperature. So it's not horrible. So I'm going to put it out. So I'm going to walk you up here to this field. If you have vegetable gardens or flower gardens, I'm going to walk you up here to this garden and these fields for a second. So I'm going to be doing a few videos. You're going to want to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a few videos about biochar, about gardening, about regenerative farming, no-till farming. I'm going to talk about some myths. There are a lot of myths that are out there, or people take information from one type of farming and growth and try and take it over to small scale gardening, and it just doesn't cross over. It doesn't make sense. So I want you to look at, isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Talk about a cover crop. This is, let me walk over here without stepping on a red ant pile. If you want to see a nice cover crop, folks, look at that. Look how lush this is right here. And that's almost 14 inches deep in here. And that's that whole field in here. Now this field we actually leave for the wildlife, the deer and the turkey. And we're going to come in here and we're going to mow down some strips and put some buckwheat in here probably in a couple of weeks once we're past the frost problem. But this year we actually installed this fence, which high posts, and we put a white rope along the very, very top of this, and the deer do not jump it. People say they will. Here they don't, because it's easier for them to walk around and access those fields. Plus, most of my deer traffic is over here. It's not over here. So this is a 7,000 square foot new fenced in garden over here. We're leaving the gates open, hopefully trying to get some deer in here at night. We're going to be showing you how to use Dirt Booster, how we haven't used fertilizers in any of our vegetable gardens or flower gardens for over almost 5 years, 4 years now. It's an amazing process. It's an amazing product, and how it improves the soil. You're going to want to hit subscribe, because I'll walk you through what we're doing up here. I'll show you the plantings up here. We're actually going to be planting up here. David came by with his bush hog yesterday and bush hog this back area over here. We're actually going to put in a small orchard over there. So we got a bunch of different things planned. It's going to be cool. Hit subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Doc.